So, the second Arnold film of this year and the third Stephen King film of this year. Who says Hollywood can't be original?
Earth, art, man, woman.
So we've got Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I absolutely love. I love all of those films. So we've got a good filmmaker, a very strong caliber of movies. So what went wrong? Well, not much really. It wasn't too bad, but I think it was almost on par with the first one. But I also found the first one probably more enjoyable. This one was like 2 hours long. 2 hours plus long. The Arnold movie felt a lot shorter in a good way. And probably what didn't help me was I went for the 4DX. I don't know if you've experienced 4DX, but that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever known. I don't mind a bit of rumbling in the seat, but I swear these seats need seat belts. It was ridiculous. I nearly got thrown out of these seats. I'm not a very light person. So we're talking about an Arnold movie here, the second Arnold-related movie this year after Badlands. And Badlands I really enjoyed. I thought it was decent. You can see my review further below. So this is the second Arnie movie of the year, or correct me if I'm wrong, and I will do nothing about it because this will be recorded and it'll be too late, so I'll just die reading the comments. So I watched the original before seeing this. I remember it not being one of my favourite of Arnie's, but I still saw that it was ridiculously entertaining. It was over the top, corny lines, actually not so many biceps. There wasn't a lot of nakedness or Arnold's body in this one. So he kept his cool with his t-shirt. His t-shirt stayed intact. I don't think we saw him topless, which is very strange. So this is the original Stephen King adaptation. And it doesn't steer away too far from the 80s concept. It stays with the 80s concept. The difference being with the Ben Richards of Arnie's and the Ben Richards of this one is that this one seems to have some anger issues and a sick child. Whereas the Arnold one, he was this humanitarian army pilot who refused to kill a load of people and he just basically got turned over. So this is also based outside, where the previous one is set in a purpose-built killing zone. So a quick synopsis. Ben, played by Glenn Powell, he's gone from job to job and needs to pay for the bills for his sick child in this dystopian, gloomy future. So what you gonna do? You're gonna go to do the Running Man, obviously, because they're offering you literally millions of pounds. I think there was a different kind of currency in this one, including the funniest part. The currency has, is it a spoiler? I don't think it is. It has a picture of Arnold on it, which is great. It was funny. It was one of the funnier parts of the film. The new currency has Arnold on it, and you kind of know the story from there. So he goes into the Running Man. I did find it funny how he was able to audition so easily for the run. You can literally just walk up to the gates and go, "Oh yeah, I'm here for the Running Man." "Oh, you're here for the run? Yeah. Here you go, sir." Anyway, so whilst not a massive fan of Glenn Powell and not being convinced of his status, you are not Brad Pitt, sir. You are not Tom Cruise. I understand it would be great to be, but you're not. He did pretty well. I have to give him his credit. He played this very angry dude and he kept his character throughout. He was intense throughout. He played the anger very well. We also saw William H. Macy, which I thought was lovely to see. Haven't seen him in a while. William H. Macy plays this fraudster kind of fixer to help out Ben Richards. I don't know. I don't know if William H. Macy saw that. Hey, I don't know if he was contacted and said, "Look, we're sticking to the original Stephen King material here. So this is going to be some deep, kind of edgy, dark stuff. So if you fancy it, come on board." So I don't know if William H. Macy felt, yeah, I'm going to have some of that. I don't know also if the same with Michael Cera, who plays a really funny, quirky character who injected some like really good energy into, I would say, a very it started to stagnate. By the time we got to Michael Cera, I was done. Not just by being thrown around by the 4DX seats. It was just, it was messy. It started off okay. The settings and the backdrop were lovely. I love the setting of it. The cities, they looked great. The divide between the rich, the poor was done very well. But I also found that you were just going from scene to dystopia to utopia, dystopia to utopia, just like by just turning the corner, which, I don't know, it just started to feel a little bit lost, a little bit chaotic. There wasn't a connection. And I can say with the 80s, you just kind of knew where you were with the film. There was no, where am I now? It was a bit all over the place. These are the bad points. Things were happening too quickly. It felt a bit complacent. And also the baddies, they just didn't feel like baddies. You couldn't get your teeth into it like the 80s one where you got your Buzzsaw, Electro. They all have their own characters, where these are just a bunch of goons just going with guns. Yeah, give them some character, except for the main one played by Lee. The goodies weren't even that great either. They were not interesting. They were wiped out in seconds, and the relationship between Richards and his wife was not very convincing. It felt a bit predictable. I mean, obviously this is the written material, but just, I don't know, you had 2 hours and 17 minutes. 2 hours and 17 minutes to, get us connected to the characters. Maybe build it up more, This is Stephen King. You just got to look at things like The Shining, Misery, Shawshank Redemption. If you've got something that's, Stephen King material, let's just, let's take our time. Let's do it dark. Let's do it nasty. This just felt too rushed and glossy to be considered a worthy Stephen King adaptation, in my eyes. Coleman Domingo was great. He played his character very well, better than the original character of Damon Killen. He played it very, very quirky, very eccentric, very good. Lee Pace was solid, but felt terribly underused. It was just a very messy film. It was, it's not horrendous, but it's too long. It dragged. It did look good. Glenn Powell did enough to make it okay. One of the worst points as well was Glenn Powell in a towel. I've got flannels. If you look up a flannel, if you're not watching this in the UK, a flannel's literally, like a face towel. Glenn Powell was wearing a towel which was smaller than my face towel, and then he takes it off. And, you're watching the movie and you're not enjoying it too much, and then suddenly you've got Glenn Powell naked outside a window. You're like, okay, well, I wasn't enjoying the movie already, and then now it's, I don't understand how he ended up more naked than Arnold in the 80s movie. It was obviously his chart. He's been working out. Yes, he looks good. So I think he maybe had a word with the director and said, look, been working on this Bonnie for a few weeks. Do you mind if I give it a little shot? Yeah, go ahead. It's 5 minutes. Why not? So yeah, Edgar Wright comes from some incredible material, what he's done in the past. But for some reason, this fell flat. It was a bit all over the place. And have a watch. I would love to hear your opinions, so please like this video, give me a comment in the bottom, and I will happily have a little discussion with you, or you can have a discussion together. You can all have an argument, and I'll sit back and go, oh yeah, good point. So anyway, guys, catch you on the next one.
How about the light?